Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about the impact of self-gaslighting when it comes to Black women. And I want this video to serve as a reminder that what you're experiencing is real. You're not imagining things. You're not blowing things out of proportion. You know when someone has harmed you. You know when someone is mistreating you. You know when someone is making remarks that hurt you and seek to break down your self-esteem. You know. And I don't think I introduced myself in the last video, but I am Marissa Price. I am a Black woman social worker. I am a former banker, financial analyst, and I have my master's degree in social work, but I'm not a licensed clinical social worker. I'm not a therapist, but I do have experience in the social work field, specifically in social impact finance. So coming out of this toxic job, I have had to remind myself many times that what I experienced was real. There will be periods where I'll have, a thought like, oh, did I just make that up? Have I been making this up for like the past year and a half, 2 years of what I experienced? Was I just like taking things out of proportion? Like maybe she didn't mean to say it like that. Like maybe I'm, And so I know that this is the case for a lot of other Black women out there in toxic work environments. And especially, when you're in these meetings, right? A lot of the times this mistreatment happens in front of other people because managers want to make an example to show other people. And in that way, it functions very, very closely to a plantation. And this is something I'm going to, plan to delve in further, having a background in Black studies and really being able to see those connections. But we're mistreated in front of other people, right? And those other people don't say anything. And this is referred to, in psychology as the bystander effect. So something will happen to someone and then everyone else will be too scared to speak up out of fear that something will happen to them. The same thing will happen to them. But what that does when you're in this situation, especially as a Black woman, and I think that as Black women, we're socialized to internalize a lot of the mistreatment that we experience, and we start to pick away at ourselves versus putting that blame back on the situation, back on the person who is mistreating us. That's their blame to carry. It's not ours. But we're socialized to internalize so many things that happen to us. And that manifests as us beginning to gaslight ourselves. Self-gaslighting is real in these toxic work environments. You will begin to question, did I experience that? Was that really said like that? That can't be real because no one said anything, right? Did she really make that remark to me? And then, the blame comes in when you start being like, and I didn't say anything back? Oh, that's not me. I know that's not me. Like if someone said that to me, I would definitely say something back. So that couldn't have happened like that, right? And this is what I experienced. So if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. But you begin to gaslight yourself. You begin to doubt your own reality, which is a dangerous path to be on, right? Because that sets you up to be harmed even more. We are all born with these internal alarm systems. And we know when things are not right. We know when we're being mistreated. We know when things just feel off. When someone said something, you know that it's meant to be harmful. But because we're taught, we're socialized, especially growing up in the West, growing up in the United States, and I know this is also true for a lot of Black women outside of the West and outside of the United States, right? White supremacy is global. But we're taught to question what we experience. And that leads us to think that being mistreated is okay. It's just part and parcel with working, when it's not. You know, Dr. Kamani's interview with Glam Mazzini, when I think it was Glam Mazzini said, "You don't deserve to be mistreated." And I'll link that in this description. But that, when I tell you that set me free, because all of this time I had been battling in my head, right? Well, maybe I'm making all this up. This is supposed to be my dream job. I did all this. I did all of this work. I went to graduate school, which was so difficult. And for y'all who went to graduate school, let me know in the comments if this resonates, because graduate school was hard, and that's an entirely separate video. But I did all this work, right? I did all these internships, unpaid internships, exploitative. But I did all of this to get here, and no, there's no way that I'm experiencing this now. And when you begin that process, your defenses start breaking down, and you start to internalize what's happening to you. And then you go back into these harmful spaces day after day. Slowly your defenses get even lower because you're continuing to be in harmful environments. And it comes to a point where you don't even believe that you have the power to leave. You do. You do have the power to leave. You always have the power to leave. It is a mirage. It is a tool of white supremacy. It is a tactic of the oppressor to make us believe that we do not have the power to exit when we are being harmed. Any relationship. You have the power to leave. You know what you're experiencing. You know it's not right. And you have the power to develop an exit plan, which is something Dr. Kamani talks about all the time on her channel. And I'll link her channel in the description too. You have the power to put that plan together. If you had the know-how, if you had the knowledge, if you had the power to get in this job, to check all the boxes, to write the resume, to do the interview, to excel at the interview, to excel at your job, and now you're being mistreated, you have the power to transition. You know that what you're experiencing is not right. And getting back to trusting your intuition after experiencing what is narcissistic abuse, that process can be difficult. I know for me it was difficult, but it is so worth it. And some of the strategies I used are journaling, voice noting, just opening the voice note app on your phone, talking to yourself after you've been in this meeting, this toxic meeting. And y'all know what I'm talking about. That meeting where someone said something just so out of line and no one said anything. And then you start to doubt, well, if no one said anything, did I really experience that? Because surely someone would have said something, right? No one said anything. And yes, you did experience that. You did. And voice noting is so powerful for that, because right after that meeting, if you have, a conference room that you can go in, if you're in the office, if you work from home, taking out your phone, voice it. I got cut off there, but seriously, voice noting is so powerful. Just keeping a running record of what you've experienced right after you've experienced it, because the longer that time goes on, the more those, gaslighting feelings might start to emerge. You might start to question what you experienced. But if you have that record that you can refer back to, um, whether that's, the voice notes app in your personal cell phone, whether that's a journal that you keep with you in a safe place, whether that's a running, just contemporaneous notes, not on your work laptop, but in a safe place that you can refer back to it. I think that is so beneficial. Um, just to remind yourself that what you experienced is real. You're not making it up. You're not making a fuss about something that's small. It's big because you're being harmed, and it's not right. And the more times that you can tell yourself that, remind yourself that, the more that power that we have naturally starts to come back. And you start to remind yourself that, oh, yeah, I can leave. I do have options. I do not have to accept this treatment. There are like a multitude of things that you can do, whether that is working for yourself, which is something that I plan to create more content on, as I am launching a business called Free Black Women Virtual Solutions, where I help current and aspiring Black women, digital creators, digital knowledge creators specifically, take our knowledge that we've gained, because we know that Black women are the most educated group of people in the United States, take that knowledge, um, build our online business, live a location independent lifestyle without an income ceiling. Shout out to Stephanie Perry. And live our best lives, right? We don't have to stay in these institutions that are not serving us, that view us as threats. We don't. The digital world has opened up so many opportunities, and my goal, my hope, my dream is to help more Black women realize, the opportunities that exist, tap into our inner knowing, tap into our potential to be entrepreneurs and excel at it with all of the talents that we have, and live our best lives, because that's what we deserve to do. So if you like this video, if it resonated with you, please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to subscribe for more content like this and more content on how to build your online business, to leave a toxic work environment, how to heal, which I think is something that is so important. How do we heal after we've experienced all of this, so that when we do enter, whether that's, we decide to get another job, we decide to start our own business, we don't want to enter with these wounds still open. So it's very important to heal. And I think that's so important. So I'll be creating more content on that. Yeah, so feel free to subscribe, like it if you liked it, and I'll catch you back here next time. Thank you so much for watching.